It's week 31 of 2025, and welcome back to Warehouse and Operations as a Career. I'm Marty, and today we're diving into two important, yet often misunderstood roles within the warehouse world: the inbound dispatchers and outbound dispatchers. Now, if you've worked in a distribution center, chances are you've interacted with one or both of these dispatch teams. But for those new to the field, or maybe just curious about how the flow of goods really works behind the scenes, today we're going to shed some light on how these roles function, how they differ, and why each one is vital to keep an operation smooth and efficient. Okay, let's break it down. Let's start off with the inbound side. Inbound dispatchers are the coordinators of the incoming chaos. They manage freight coming into the warehouse, be it raw materials, finished goods, or vendor-supplied inventory. Their job begins well before the truck ever backs into a dock door. They're responsible for all of the things like freight scheduling. They coordinate with vendors, suppliers, and transportation companies to schedule delivery appointments. This isn't just a simple calendar task. It involves prioritizing freight based on inventory needs, things like product shelf life, dock availability, and labor schedules. Working with receivers and unloaders, inbound dispatchers are in constant contact with the warehouse receiving team. They ensure that when a truck arrives, there's someone ready to receive the load. It's a real-time dance, balancing manpower and incoming volume. They're the ones assigning dock doors. Efficient dock usage is crucial. Inbound dispatchers assign specific dock doors to each trailer based on the type of freight, the space needed, and how quickly it needs to be offloaded. They have to really coordinate with the merchandising teams too. Prioritize the high-demand items or those seasonal goods. Some loads may be broken down and sent straight to production or shipping without ever touching storage shelves. And of course, with these jobs, there's a lot of documentation and tracking. Things like bills of lading, appointment confirmations, temperature logs for all that cold freight. Inbound dispatchers handles all of it, and compliance is very important and key to this position. Now let's talk about the pace. Inbound dispatchers work in a rhythm that's steady and unpredictable. A delayed truck can impact the entire receiving schedule, a last-minute load even. That can throw off standing plans or overload the docks. These dispatchers have to stay cool under pressure. They got to be able to think on their feet and communicate with multiple stakeholders throughout the day. And the outbound side is just as busy. If inbound dispatchers are the gatekeepers for everything coming in, outbound dispatchers are the last line of defense on the way out. Their focus is entirely on what's leaving the building and making its way to the customer. Things like load planning and carrier scheduling. They assign freight to outbound trucks, ensuring orders are complete and ready to roll. They'll be working with route planners, customer service reps, and third-party carriers to get shipments out on time and, in full loads. Coordinating with the warehouse, the pickers, the packers, and the loaders. Outbound dispatchers must keep tabs on where each order is in the process. Are all the pallets wrapped? Has the paperwork been printed? Is the truck at the dock yet? Trailer assignments and door scheduling. Much like the inbound side, outbound has to manage dock space carefully. Some facilities may have designated outbound doors, but even then, timing is everything. One late loader can delay 3 other trucks. Communication with customers or delivery sites. Especially in retail or food service, outbound teams often deal directly with customers or store managers. They're the ones rescheduling late deliveries or rerouting loads when necessary. And then there's a lot of documentation and auditing. They ensure freight matches the pick ticket and that everything complies with DOT regulations, customer requirements, and internal policies. While inbound dispatchers deal with the unpredictability of vendors and carriers, outbound dispatchers deal with the pressure of customers' expectations. Orders must be right. They must be on time. And in today's world, that means sometimes tracking a truck in real time or getting creative with alternate routes or backup carriers. Both of these roles require excellent communication, the ability to juggle multiple priorities, and a calm, detail-oriented personality. These aren't just office jobs either. Many dispatchers work out on the floor or at dockside desks to stay close to the action. Inbound and outbound dispatch roles can really be stepping stones to other logistics positions. Many warehouse managers, transportation coordinators, or supply chain analysts got their start in these roles. Dispatchers see the whole picture of a warehouse's operation. They understand vendor relationships, carrier performance metrics, what other type things? Labor flow and dock optimization, inventory turns, service level agreements. If you're looking to move into leadership or planning roles, starting in dispatch is a great way to build that foundation. Some of those skills that translate well will be all the work that we've done with Excel and warehouse management systems and transportation management systems. And all those awesome time management skills we've developed. Your problem-solving abilities and your strong written and verbal communication skills. And we can't forget all the work with conflict resolution and vendor relationships. Let's see, I wrote down a couple of real-life examples, and I didn't mention them earlier. Here's a quick inbound story. A refrigerated produce vendor calls. They're running 3 hours behind due to a blown tire. The inbound dispatcher has to adjust the schedule, notify receivers and merchandisers because that product needs to hit picking lines tonight or fast, and maybe even move another truck into their dock slot to prevent idle time. And here's a quick outbound scenario. A carrier driver arrives 45 minutes early for pickup. The order isn't wrapped yet because 2 pickers called in sick. The outbound dispatcher must make the call. Hold the driver? Reassign the labor? Call another carrier? Or just make the carrier wait? The goal is to keep freight moving without compromising accuracy or safety. Now, both roles can be high pressure. You're dealing with time-sensitive freight, unexpected delays, and about 24 moving parts all at once. But they're also incredibly rewarding. When everything goes right and when that 18-wheeler pulls in and leaves on time, fully loaded and compliant, it feels like a winning day. And you will build relationships. Inbound teams get to know drivers and vendor reps. Outbound dispatchers become problem solvers for customers and delivery points. You become the go-to person when something goes wrong, and the first one thanked when everything goes right. Inbound and outbound dispatchers sit on opposite ends of the warehouse. They are the lifeblood of the operation, keeping inventory flowing in and finished orders flowing out. If you're looking for a career that's fast-paced, detail-oriented, and critical to the operation, this is it. Whether you're exploring dispatching as your next step or just want to better understand how goods get to and from the dock. Well, I hope today we gave you a deeper appreciation for 2 more important roles in the warehouse. And that's a wrap for today. Be sure to subscribe and share warehouse and operations as a career to your friends. And if you're in dispatch or work closely with dispatchers, drop me an email. I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, stay safe, stay efficient, and keep that freight moving.